Yeah, guys, so I just got home still upset about the news about Luis Roberto, but he'll get through this. He'll get through this. No problem. Here's the thing, guys, we have some information to share with you. About the Flamengo game, the game is coming up at 9:30 p.m. It's on Globo, but without Luis Roberto. Even Junior Capacete, our Maestro Junior, made a post about it that I'll show you here. Check this out. Friends, my friend Luis, when I heard you weren't going to cover Flamengo's debut in the Libertadores, I thought, what happened? When I made my debut at the 1998 World Cup in France, you were there to support me, just like you've been for the past 28 years. Of course, we're never really prepared for some of the things life throws at us, but you can be sure that everything will work out and we'll be together for a long time to come. The chain of prayers and blessings has already started until we get the news that everything is 0-0. No, actually, let's make it 1-0, Junior. Let's go for 1-0 already. That's the result you like since you didn't shout goal at any moment. All right, then it counts. Great Junior there making this post for Luis Roberto, who deserves it, deserves all this affection, who deserves it. I hope he recovers as soon as possible. We feel sad about the news, sad that he won't be participating in the World Cup, won't be commentating at the World Cup, but we know that he'll be recovered soon. Look, before I bring you all the information about the game, I want to let you know that Flamengo has unveiled something. This Tuesday, a limited edition commemorative watch was released to celebrate the 2025 Libertadores title which the club secured. It's the Continental Championship. In the final, which was played on November 29th, Flamengo beat Palmeiras 1-0 with a decisive goal by Danilo, who even gave an interview on Flamengo TV. It's really good. It's worth checking out the documentary there. Highlighting the launch, unit number 001 was given to the defender himself, the scorer of the title-winning goal. The product is already available for purchase on the club's website and official stores. Guys, it's spectacular. There are 81, 19, 22, and 23. Look, those are Flamengo's Libertadores titles.
Tá.
Everything comes in this color. Each one is more beautiful than the last. Look at that. Spectacular. Or is it the same one? It's the same one, man. It's the same one. It's the same one, red on the inside. This is the bottom part. I got confused. I was confused, but it's really beautiful and cool. It's there. Look, behind Flamengo Tetra. Amazing, amazing. So you can get it at Flamengo's official store.
É,
I wanted to tell you that the news is very important. Plata is trying to turn things around with the support of Leonardo Jardim and the team, okay? A new chance. He is going through this rebuilding phase at Flamengo. After making mistakes off the field, the forward was welcomed by Leonardo Jardim and the group, receiving support to turn things around. With this new chance, he has already shown, he has already responded on the field, right? As in his strong performance against Santos. Now I'm going to say the following. We can even notice it in the players' statements. From Paquetá, from Arrascaeta, the players are already saying, he made a mistake, but he's a great player and all that. Paquetá even said he was an idol. Not exactly an idol, but he's a great player and all that. So the players are backing him up. And I told you guys that this also has a lot to do with Danilo and Jardim, that important leadership they provide.
né?
So let me bring this to you as well. Look, we've already shared the list throughout the day, but it's important to mention it here. Andriu, Ayrton Lucas, Bruno Henrique, Carrascal, Danilo, De Arrascaeta, De La Cruz, Diogo Alves, Emerson Royal, Everton. Araujo, Guilherme Varela, Guilherme, Luiz Araujo, Léo Ortiz, Lucas Paqueta, Léo Pereira, Luiz Felipe, Pedro Plata, Rossi, Samuel Lino, Vital, and Wallace Ian. So I'll bring you the complete information about the upcoming game with Flamengo making their debut in the Copa Libertadores da América. Look, what's important for us to mention here is that it's Flamengo's Libertadores debut at 9:30 p.m. Inca Garcilaso de la Vega Stadium in Peru. First round of Group A of the CONMEBOL Libertadores, Broadcast on TV Globo on free-to-air TV, GETV on YouTube, and Paramount on streaming. Probable Flamengo lineup: Rossi, Varela, Leo Pereira, Leo Ortiz, and Ayrton Lucas, or Danilo, Everton Araujo, Lucas Paquetá, and Arrascaeta, Carrascal, Pedro, and Samuel Lino. Coach: Leonardo Jardim. They're missing Jorginho, muscle injury; Polgar, shoulder injury; Everton Cebolinha, rib fracture; Alexandro, muscle injury; and Saul, heel surgery. Probable Cusco FC lineup: Dias, Fuentes, Ampuero, and Bolívar. Rui Diaz, Valenzuela, Carabaral, Soto and Diaz, Manzaneda, and Calero. Coach: Alejandro Orfila. We also have the refereeing team: Denis Lopez, assistants Roberto Cañetti and Jose Cuevas, and VAR official Fernando Lopez. All four are from Paraguay. And now we follow Flamengo's arrival at altitude, their arrival in Cusco. Our reporter Gabriel Orfon is here covering Mengão's arrival for their debut match in the 2026 Copa Conmebol Libertadores. Sage.
Guys, look, I'm here with Rafael. He's Peruvian, supports Flamengo, lived in Rio for a long time, and now lives in Italy. What's this craziness, Rafael?
Thank you very much, everyone. We're here waiting for Flamengo, and tomorrow Flamengo is going to win 3-0.
And how excited are you for the players' arrival here? In just a little while, is it almost time?
Flamengo has a lot of stars. I'm waiting to get a photo with Arrascaeta, Bruno Henrique, Rossi. I'm waiting for the team's arrival.
You live in Italy, but you can't take a photo with Jorginho, right? He's Italian, but he didn't come, right?
It's a shame that Jorginho didn't come, but Flamengo has a lot of players. They're all stars, so it's worth being here to take a photo with Duque.
Now come here, let me ask you. Tomorrow there's a match at high altitude. Would you go with your best lineup because it's the Libertadores? Or since it's at altitude, maybe a team with some reserves?
I think Flamengo has a team with a lot of players who can play one half. They can all play. In the second half, you can make changes. There could be changes too because it's also Cusco. It's a tough stadium, the altitude and everything. I think it's a tough match, but Flamengo has a team with a lot of players who play very well.
It's going to be tough, but what did you say the score will be?
3 sets, the Flamengo game.
Thanks, we're in this together. The Libertadores has started, and at this moment, the delegation of Clube de Regatas do Flamengo is arriving at the JW Marriott Hotel in Cusco. Flamengo is coming in vans, because the structure here, look, Boto, Flamengo's technical director, Jose Boto, coach Leonardo Jardim over there as well, and the players coming through there. It's a series of vans bringing the Flamengo delegation since buses aren't allowed on these streets. And look, Bruno Henrique is right here up close. BH27 over there is Jose Boto, Flamengo's technical director, together with Gabriel Skinner, coach Leonardo Jardim, Arrascaeta, Varela, the goalkeeper Andrew. Jorge Carrascal, these are the Flamengo players arriving. Goalkeeper Agustin Rossi waving. It's Flamengo arriving in Cusco, Bruno Henrique, BH27. 27. The Rubro Negra delegation already at the altitude of Cusco. The Rubro Negra delegation already. And look, there are more players here. Look, Guilherme Gomes, the midfielder. Next to Guilherme, Luiz Felipe, Flamengo's academy products. The first van has already passed. The first van has already passed. Luiz Felipe, Guilherme Gomes, Flamengo's academy products. The third one is arriving here, and you're following everything. Mengão is arriving, Pedro Guilherme, Emerson Royal, Lucas Paquetá, their players, Flamengo. Are there more players? Flamengo is arriving. Pulling up over here. And look, Mengão's players are getting out of the van. Leo Ortiz, together with Luiz Felipe, Guilherme Gomes, Léo Pereira, Pedro Guilherme, Ayrton Lucas. Look, Leo Ortiz is in the center of the shot. Emerson Royal, Samuel Lino also arriving. Lucas Paquetá, Luiz Araujo. They are Flamengo players. And here comes Leonardo Jardim's coaching staff. Flamengo is already in Cusco for their debut in the Conmebol Libertadores. Tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Brazil time, Cusco FC versus Flamengo. It's the first round of the Libertadores group stage. Mengão, the current champion, is in Group A, going after their 5th championship. That's it. The last members of Flamengo's coaching staff are arriving here. The arrival of the Flamengo delegation at the JW Marriott Hotel in Cusco, Peru is complete.
The arrival of Mengão was sensational while you watch footage that Flamengo TV released to the press of the last training session before this game in Cusco at high altitude, right? The players will stay at the hotel in pressurized rooms. It will feel like an altitude of about 2,400 meters, which is below 2,500 where the symptoms start. So it's pretty manageable in that regard. Obviously, during the game, they'll feel it. That's normal, but at least throughout the day, staying inside the room, they won't feel the effects of the altitude. I told you that Flamengo stays for 2 nights, right? But we're going to do well, God willing. With this schedule and the pressurized rooms, everything will work out for Flamengo. Guys, look. According to ESPN, Flamengo's squad has really bought into Leonardo Jardim's approach, especially because of the way he deals with the group. At first, the Portuguese coach showed some distrust, especially after Felipe Luiz left, but he managed to adapt quickly and ended up earning the trust of all the players. Guys, it's impressive, even those he scolded, huh? So, the squad embraced Leonardo Jardim's ideas and the coach won over the group. Man, when this team really gets going, my friends, there's no stopping them. Once they get going, there's no stopping them. Just look. Danilo revealed it, right? You're watching footage from Flamengo's training session, and Danilo revealed that he could have retired after the Libertadores title in 2025. The defender, in an interview released by Flamengo, said he considered ending his career after winning the Libertadores. Also, after winning the Libertadores and the Brasileirão, it's understandable that the guy might consider retiring. At 34 years old, the guy who scored the winning goal in Flamengo's 1-0 victory over Palmeiras in Lima, Peru, right? The player said that that moment represented an ideal scenario to say goodbye to football. On that day, I could have ended my career. I could have ended it because it was the perfect scenario. Except that, up until then, I hadn't managed to win the World Cup with the Brazilian national team, right? So, he still has that dream. That's what kept him from retiring earlier. So, he's going to play one more season. At least that's the impression we get, that he'll go until the end of the season at least, and maybe extend for another year perhaps. But his situation, his motivation is much greater because of the World Cup, his desire to win a World Cup for the Brazilian national team. Danilo, man, let me tell you guys, Alex Santos gets injured a lot and all, but Danilo at 34 is playing really well. If I could choose one of the veterans who should stay at Flamengo for at least another year, it would easily be Danilo, right? He plays really well, is decisive, extremely intelligent, and still helps out with the daily routine of the red and black squad. And look, according to the journalist Evene Casagrande, the right-back Emerson Royal was sentenced by the National Chamber of Dispute Resolution, the CRND, to pay 650,000 euros, about 3.8 or 3.9 million reais, to the company Link Assessoria Esportiva e Propaganda, which is connected to the businessman Andre Cury. The debt refers to 2021 and the player has until next Monday to pay the amount. If he doesn't pay, he could face sanctions such as an additional fine and even suspension from matches, which could leave him unavailable for Flamengo. So, you have to sort this out, Royal. Open your wallet and sort this out because Flamengo has nothing to do with it.